that I'm running on my computer, but I want to show you the integration with the Visual Studio Code. So in the Visual Studio Code, you want to go to the extensions. So on the left pane, you want to let me just see if I can drag this. I think I clicked something already. So you want to search for this extension called Continue. It's an extension that allows you to integrate your local LLMs or your local APIs, and then you can also have the open router type of APIs. So right now, if you go to continue, so basically just come to the extensions and search for continue, and then when you open it, you want to go to the config file. So let me show you that. I've already installed it and I don't want to uninstall it or reinstall it. When you install it, you're gonna see it here, so you can drag it and keep it on any side you want. I prefer mine on the right. So here you're gonna configure so let's let it load. It's loading. My computer is just a little bit needing some time. Network here is a little bit slow as well, but let's see. So what I'm gonna do is I'll show you the configuration. You in the configuration file, I won't show you everything, but you have to create the open open AI kind of router. Reopen Windows not responding. Keep waiting. Let's just wait for it. When you open it's a config file, it kind of YAML file named config. When you go there, you create the API name and the URL, and then you put your key. And then when you go to select your agent, you want to select your local LLM. When you do that, I'll show you other things why that page is loading. Okay, the entire page is frozen. Okay, yeah. What is why? So I wanted to show you this before the next day, but it seems that no, it's already the next day. I'm not able to show you what I wanted to show you. Okay, here when you create this local host, it gives you an API. See, here's my API, the FreeLLM API. So you want to copy that. I don't want to show it, but you can want to copy that. When you copy that, you go back to your Visual Studio Code and you add that in the config file. You add it as your source of API, and that's all you need to do. Once you add it, you can select that as your agent. You can select your agent as the local host, or you can just say local and you select that, and it will go to that your config file and take that API. Now, just imagine what I did now. I've added a lot of API keys to my local host. At least 10, I have about 10 APIs or more. Now, each of them will fetch me a few thousand or a few million tokens for a total of actually hundreds of millions of tokens, because I have a total of 1.3 uh, billion tokens, and these are renewable every month. So if I use all of them, I get more every month. So I copy this key, and if you go to my, if I can scroll down, you can see all the keys that I have down there. So I have Google, I have Grok, Cerebras, NVIDIA, Mistral, Open Router, and it goes on and on and on. I have all these running, and instead of adding them one by one to my uh, Visual Studio Code, I add that top level API, which is the API key to my localhost. And so when I go to my Visual Studio Code, I'm just going to tell it that I want to use the local one. I want to use my local host. And then that will invoke, or that we access that my local host, and then all the APIs under that local host are available for my use. And then I can start building and developing my code. Now this place is not working, so I'm gonna keep it shut. When I restart, I can show it another day. I may not, but I've The simple thing I want to show you is go to your Visual Studio Code, get the continue extension, then click on the on this gear sign, the setting sign, to configure it. It will take you to the YAML file, which is the configuration file. Then you want to add the API key. I want to see if you can open so I can show you that before I close. I want to show you where you add the API key, the structure. If I can show you the structure, then I think we've done a good job. I show you the structure and then we can close. So just give me a second. Let's just wait for it to load and we can see that structure. That will be a key to leave, but we're gonna time it. Let's time it in the next 2 minutes. That will be 12:05. If it doesn't load, we can just call it a day. But as you run your codes, you can go back to this and you see in the playground. If you look at the playground, you can whatever you can run with this playground can also be done with the Visual Studio Code. I prefer Visual Studio Code because this playground doesn't remember here. It saves it in my download folder, in my download folder. I figured out later, but I would prefer that when I open it, I'll see it's remaining here. It doesn't retain it, but your Visual Studio Code retains all the codes that you typed, so it's easier for memory to go to your Visual Studio Code or cursor. But for now, we have 1 more minute. Is that yeah? We have 1 more minute before we can sign out because this is not working. All right. Okay, we don't have to give you that whole minute. All right. Thanks for coming around, and please like, share, subscribe, comment, and okay, this is loading, but I'm gonna ignore it. Yeah, I'll see you in the next one. All right. Thank you for always coming back. And we're going to try to teach more, we're going to try to demonstrate more, but we're going to fix the network issues and the computer issues. And I think I know why the computer is also slow, because we've used a lot of the memory or a lot of the storage as well. We downloaded a lot of stuff. Running LLM on the system, we actually had the Olama running locally. We have also DeepSeek running locally. So this slow down the computer. So we have to clean it up and remove the things we don't need. Some of the local LLMs we have are not required anymore with open code, and also this local host we are running, we don't need all those LLMs anymore. So until we see you next time,